So if sitting in front of your desk all day long in poor posture is bad for you, then is a standing desk all day then good for you? It may seem like it, but it's not necessarily that simple, because just like sitting in poor postures all day, you can also do the same thing standing. So what is one to do? Long story short, being sedentary or being in static positions for an extended period of time is the problem. Actually, sitting or standing is not inherently bad for you. It's just that if we hold those positions for a prolonged period, they become a problem because our bodies need movement and the typical desk lifestyle lacks movement. But the question is, how do we get more movement throughout the day? Before we get into the details, in this video, what we're gonna go over is why sedentarism is a problem for our bodies, how that leads to muscle, joint, pain, and dysfunctions, and problems later on in life, why we need more movement in our life, and then lastly, the details of how to do that. What are some different strategies, movements, postures, positions, exercises, things that we can do to enhance more or promote more movement in our workday. The problem is sedentarism, or being sedentary, not moving. So prolonged sitting, even in poor posture, or standing in poor posture is not inherently bad for you. It's how long we do it, right? If we're in these consistent positions, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's consistent force and tension on our body that creates imbalances, right? So think if I take my finger, which is totally normal, and I pull it back this way, I feel a stretch. If I pull it too far, right, it starts to hurt. Right? But a lot of times our postures from sitting at the computer or even standing at the computer in these poor postures is not necessarily this. It's that low-grade stretch and tension. But you can imagine if I held my finger here for, an hour, let's say 5 minutes, it's gonna start to be achy, right? But if I let go of that, I take the tension off, it's a little sore, a little achy, but as I get it moving, right, it feels better again, right? So these positions of tension without movement can create these problems. The issue is that, this is maybe a couple minutes, but we do this 8 hours a day, 5 days a week with this consistent postural tension. This can create problems, imbalances. It leads to pain, injury. And so if we're in front of a computer all day long, but then also we want to perform athletic activities, we want to go play a sport, or we want to go do something, our body doesn't have the strength, balance, or capacity to sustain those things. And then we have issues, especially as we get older. Because if you think about it, when we were kids, we're in desks, but we're moving a lot. As we get older, we don't have recess, we don't go outside and play, we don't do the same things we did. But we sit in front of a computer all day long, but yet we expect to go play basketball at a high performing level. And that's where the issue is. So if we can create more movement throughout the day or be able to take that tension off, we're never gonna lead, or we're gonna at least prevent that progression of tension, which can lead into pain, injury, and more serious problems. Right, and it's one thing to have joint pain, stiffness, and achiness, but what path does that lead us down? Right, the unfortunate problem with that is if we don't change these behaviors, it can become structural. Things can change, our body will adapt to it. And if we can't it sounds cliche, but if you don't use it, you lose it. And think about it's one thing maybe to stop playing a specific sport, but what if you have problems now with simple activities, squatting, sitting on the toilet, walking, picking up a child, right? These are real things that happen when we are sedentary, we don't move in many different directions and very often. It leads down this path of inability, which ultimately creates a low quality of life and a lack of happiness. And who the hell wants that? So that's why it's really important to move throughout the day. But now, how do we do that? If we have a desk job or sitting in front of a computer on a desk, how do we promote more movement throughout the day? Now, yes, a standing desk is a great idea. However, when we stand up, we can also hold poor postures and positions. Here are a couple ways that we can get more movement throughout our day. One is to get a sit-to-stand desk. A great strategy is to alternate sitting and standing. So you can get a desk topper, and that you can bring the desk down and or up so you can do standing and sitting. I'd recommend alternating that ideally every half hour. If you can't do that, then maybe do every hour. The idea with that is that we get to change positions, because as we mentioned, standing for a long period of time is not necessarily great. You get tired, it's good to sit. So you can alternate sitting and standing, that way you're promoting some more movement throughout your day. Tip 2 is when you are standing, a lot of times we'll hang or sag into one hip or the other, or we'll just slouch forward and like rest our elbows on the desk or so on and so forth. So a way that we can get in better positions or promote more movement while standing is having a step stool or a small little garbage can where you can bring one leg up. By having one leg up and the other one down, what happens is it naturally puts your low back and pelvis in a better neutral position. And by doing that, it causes you to have to use your core more to stabilize and center yourself. So, and also by doing that, you're gonna get tired a little bit sooner than standing on 2 feet. So you're gonna wanna switch sides. So by promoting switching sides, you're getting some more movement and variability and moving your body in all sorts of different directions, which we know is important to take any of that consistent postural tension off of your body, keep your joints and muscles moving, keep that blood flowing, keeping your body healthy through that workday. Tip 3, if you're someone who struggles with remembering to do these things, a little reminder outside of maybe setting an alarm on your phone might be a little bit annoying. A tip you can do is to get a small little sticker and put it on your computer monitor. That sticker on your computer monitor, which I even have right here, is a consistent reminder to check in with your body. So I would call this a body scan, and you can check it any way you want. It can be as simple as maybe you're a jaw clencher. So when you see that sticker, you can say, oh shoot, am I clenching my jaw? Yeah, I am. You know what? I'm gonna relax my jaw. Okay? If you're someone that consistently slouches, you see that sticker, like, oh shoot, let me just check my posture here and reset. It can be a reminder to go to sit and stand. It can be for anything, but the key part with it is that you're not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna have perfect posture and perfect behaviors all day long, but if you have little reminders like that sticker, it will remind you to change that. So you're breaking up those postural stresses throughout the day and getting breaks as opposed to a prolonged version of that. Think if you go to the gym and you do sets and reps. If I give you 50 pounds to lift, do you wanna do 50 reps at once or do you wanna do 5 sets of 10? Right? The sticker, the body scan is like doing 5 sets of 10. It helps break up that stress throughout the day. Tip 4 is to use a product called the MOVEMATE. Now this is an awesome product. There's a lot of products out there I think are very gimmicky, or it's a Frankenstein product where they combine a bunch of things that have already been made and put into one. This is a very unique product because it looks like a balance board, but in reality, it is a board that promotes more movement while you are standing. So what I like about this is that it's not a completely new concept. It's taking the whole idea of sitting and standing or movement throughout the day, and it naturally allows you to move throughout the day, and it makes it fun and dynamic. So this is kind of like the trash can or the step stool strategy, but what's better about it is that it's consistent movement, and it's also in many directions of movement. So what I mean is that like a treadmill desk, those can be great, or those the treadmills on the mat treadmills. You walk on those, but you think about walking. That is just a consistent movement in one direction. What's great about the way the MOVEMATE is designed, where it has those wooden fingers, is that when your feet are on it, it is moving in all sorts of directions because we move forward, backward, side to side, and also rotation. So we move in 3 planes of motion. With this device, it allows us to move in all 3 planes of motion, and it also does it in a way where it's subconscious, meaning that you don't have to really think about it, it's just kind of happening. So not only do I like this product just to make standing at a desk a little bit more enjoyable and it gets your body moving, but I love what it does for your feet. Far too often, if you think about it, we're in shoes. Those are human or man-made devices, and also flat grounds. Again, these are designed by humans. Our feet are made to move in all sorts of different directions, but being shod or in shoes and on flat surfaces all the time, our feet don't get the stimulation that they really need. So barefoot shoes have become a big trend, which I think is not necessarily a trend, it's a movement, which is a good movement. But barefoot shoes are phenomenal. However, if you're still on flat surfaces all the time, you don't get the stimulation that your feet really need. So the added benefit of having a MOVEMATE, it actually is in a way sort of like a foot rehab device. Now I necessarily can't say it does that, but the way it moves your feet dynamically can start to wake up some of those little muscles that don't move very well, that have been, that have been deconditioned for so long. That can help wake up a lot of these tissues, and it can be a really great adjunct to a foot rehab program. So that's what the MOVEMATE does. But I also love too is the way it's made and how it's made. So this is a mechanical device. There's no like Bluetooth or charging or other crap like that. It's a mechanical device that's basically wood and some mechanical screws, and I think that's about it. And so it's relatively simple. You can take it anywhere. It's heavy duty. I haven't used it for a super long time, but you can tell it's made very well. I'm not really into this sort of stuff, but what's also nice too, when you buy this, it comes in a really nice package, a lot of sustainable materials. They talk about their quality process, how it's made and assembled in Canada. This is not some cheap knockoff, or it doesn't smell like chemicals or a lot of cheap products that are bad for the environment that's made somewhere else. They really do care about how the product's made, sustainability, and the whole user experience, which I do appreciate. All right, to summarize and circle it all back around, sitting is not inherently bad for you. It's just for how we do it for how long. We have eyes in front of our head, so we tend to slouch forward and we do things this way. I doubt for fun you work at your desk backwards like this just for fun, right? So we do a lot of things forward. That creates a lot of postural tension. That can lead down a pathway of pain and dysfunction and issues with your musculoskeletal health down the line. So what is the solution? More movement throughout your day. We talked about a sit to stand desk being important when you are standing, how to use a little step stool or a trash can to create some more movement. We talked about using a sticker or a body scan to check in with your body to make sure that any of these habitual postural patterns that you have, like clenching, holding your breath, or breathing up into your chest, poor postural positions, or just a reminder to get up and move. Take that sticker, put it on your desk, use that as a reminder. And then lastly, using the MOVEMATE here, right? An awesome tool that is not meant to replace everything. It's meant to make an adjunct to your active desk or workplace lifestyle. But what this does is naturally add more movement in all planes of motion while being at your desk. Yes, going out for a walk and taking breaks is very important. However, if we can combine that also with better movement or more movement at your desk, where I doubt you're gonna be doing yoga and squats and other stuff at your desk, using this is a very simple, easy way to get more movement in all directions throughout your work day, but also it's not gonna take you away, it's not gonna take away from your focus, it's not gonna distract you from doing the work at hand. And it also has the added benefit of helping to improve and wake up your feet, improve your foot function. So as I highly recommend the MOVEMATE, what I start with first is shrink the change. Keep it super simple. Start with just one of these things. That's the easiest for you to do, and be consistent with it. And as you're more consistent with it, then you can start doing more things. But if you try to upend your entire workplace and your workday, it's not sustainable. So choose the easy one first. Keep doing it, keep it up, and keep promoting more movement in your active workday lifestyle. Hey, for more active care lifestyle strategies, exercises, health and fitness, stuff like that, make sure you like this video, subscribe, but also hit that bell so you get notifications from when we release new content.